Hi and welcome to another Married to Reselling video. I'm Simon.
I'm Faye.
And together we're a UK reseller couple selling mainly on eBay and Amazon.
Got lots coming up in this video, including sales from right here in the barn. Plus we've got an update to our last video from last week. So stay tuned for that because there's more detail that you should know. But before all that, I just wanted to let you know, because we have been asked, the swords. We dropped them off last week to a specialist auction house in the Midlands and they've all gone there apart from the pokey thing.
Yeah, not the toast
toast fork.
If you've got no idea what we're talking about, I will link the video just up here.
So we dropped them off and they will have them for about 6 weeks. That's so they can check them over, identify them, research them, whatever they need to do, and give us a rough idea of what they're worth and whether they have a suitable auction that they can go in, or maybe a private buyer that they're aware of that might be interested. We didn't get too much information on the day. I thought we'd be there for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, have a chat, but we were in and out in about 3 minutes, weren't we?
Yeah.
So for an hour and a half drive, fair enough, I suppose. So yeah, they're all left there. We did get a receipt for them, which is good, and we also did get a confirmation email saying that we were okay to drop them off that day. So if we did get pulled by the police for any reason, we had a reason that we had all these swords in the car. So yeah, watch this space for another update. We're keen to let you know.
We've also been asked for a bit of an update about simple delivery. So simple delivery, we talked about it a couple of months ago. It's where eBay are going to start offering customers all the courier options, and shipping labels will be dealt with by eBay, much like what happens with Vinted. Except that we're going to have to put the measurements and weights when creating the listings, and if they're inaccurate when it comes to actually packing the item, then we as sellers are going to get charged the difference. Now, I checked out the page again. I'll put the link in the description to the simple delivery page. There is a couple of updates, there's a few FAQs and stuff like that, but the first notable update is that they're rolling this out for personal sellers to start with. Now, a couple of people did comment on that video and say that they were already seeing it in their listing flow, so I assume they were personal sellers. So eBay's update is simple delivery is currently only available for private sellers in the UK, selling items in certain categories. Both item and buyer delivery addresses must be in the UK, as the labels are only available for UK carriers. And this one really, this was the one for me. Can you opt out? So opt in and out, eligibility. Can I opt out of simple delivery? Yes, you can opt out simple delivery when you're creating the listing. So at the moment, it looks like it's only for personal sellers, and you would set that whilst creating a listing. So let's just hope that they're not rolling it out, in my opinion anyway, for business sellers, because I'd want to opt out and I don't want to have to go into every listing and sort of opt out of that. So hopefully it'll be in the business policies flow or whatever, or you just be able to do it by bulk. But yeah, check that page out because there is a little bit more information about all of that. Just before we get into sales from here in the barn, I just want to talk about what we discussed in the last video, just to really sort of provide a bit of clarification, a bit of update. We shared a lot of questions that we'd got on Instagram, but a couple of you thankfully gave us that extra bit of information. So eBay are reducing the number of free listings from 1,000 to 300, but it's 300 new listings per month, and that doesn't count for items that automatically relist, so good till cancelled. So as a private seller, if you currently have 1,000 listings, you won't have to suddenly pay for those if they're just auto renewing. It's when you create new listings, or if you do relist and sell similar. So that's quite interesting. We've talked a lot about the value of sell similar and stuff, and everyone has sort of different take on that. People did specifically say to us that eBay must think sell similar is really important because they sort of push it, even though I've never seen that in any of their help pages. But if you are a personal seller and you do sell similar, they will count towards your allocation. But what it really means is, for a new seller, let's say you're starting your eBay account today, you will get 300 free listings, and then on your 301st listing, you'll pay 35p. It essentially means not really much has changed. So if that personal seller update made you really happy, unfortunately, it's not as good news for you as a business seller, because existing listings or listings that just roll over, they don't count.
So now let's go and check out some sales from right here in the barn.
Go.
Crate 14.
It's Faye's favourite crate, I've said that before. Yeah.
Vintage miniature chamber pot. It's mini. You wouldn't get your bum on it.
What is a chamber pot?
You go to the toilet on it. Back in the day and then sling it out your window.
And there's nothing big enough in here to go to the toilet on. Just saying. So.
It's a mini one. Yeah. No, but it's similar in size. That's got a lid. Yes.
Is this for a doll's house or something?
I don't know.
It's like
It's got a little handle, is it?
yeah, the chamber pot for slugs. Right, here it is.
Okay,
Oh,
this costs, it says Bon Nuit.
Keep me clean or something. What's that say?
Does it say Bon Nuit on the other side?
So it says, keep me clean and serve me well, and what I see I'll never tell. So it's not going to spill the beans on Slug's undercarriage.
Nice. Well, that cost 74p and sold for £8 plus post within 2 months. That was for auction.
That is the wonder of eBay, isn't it? What are we going next?
Catan. The Settlers of Catan board game, 4th edition by Mayfair Games.
This is from a jumble sale.
Cost £1 and sold for £24.99 within a couple of weeks. Then we've got crate 16.
Yep.
It's a Dalton glassware trinket pot with lid with blue swirls. Is it the front?
Dalton handcrafted glassware.
That cost £1. Don't know where from.
Must be a garage sale or a jumble sale.
Must
at
be.
£1. Doesn't sound like an auction price.
No, and it's sold for £12 within 2.5 months. Crate 31.
Yeah.
A vintage plate decorative wall hanging, cobalt blue and white, hand painted.
Hope it's this one.
Yes, that is it.
This is on the top. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that cost 54p from auction, sold within a couple of weeks for £9.24 plus post. Crate 25.
Yeah.
Wittard of Chelsea oversized cup and saucer.
Another one on the top.
Yeah, this cost £2.99 from a charity shop, sold within a week for £17. And then we've had to cancel an order of some cups and saucers because they messaged and said, please hold dispatch of item for 2 weeks as I'm currently in Colombia and returning to UK then. Thank you. So we had to cancel it, because we can't dispatch it.
No.
When they want, we have to dispatch it when eBay would like us to. So therefore we had to cancel the order and let the customer know.
Yeah, so cancelled the order, issued with buyer's delivery address, obviously, and relisted and said, hope it's still available when you're ready to take delivery if you want to repurchase.
Yeah. Next, crate 22. It's at the bottom. Yeah. It's a vintage cat ornament figurine leather look. We had some other cat things in here the other day that sold. There's another cat thing in there. Maybe that will sell tomorrow.
Yeah, the cat tub.
This cost 15p from auction and sold within 8.5 months for £5 plus post.
Woo. Tell you what, if anyone would like to buy... Where is it?
Oh, isn't it in one of the big...
No, I put it in there.
It's a massive... If you like cat ornaments, check out our shop on eBay because we've got a really tall cat ornament that we'd like gone. So send us an offer. Next, on the table, because we haven't had a chance to put it away yet, because it's sold within 2 hours of listing. It is an antique luncheon plate, so you can have your luncheon on it, from September 1868. And it's got cherry blossom and butterfly on it, and that sold for £24.99, and that was from auction.
What did you put in the listing?
It's like the best condition antique plate I've ever seen, and I put that in the description. I said, quite frankly, this is an amazing condition for something that is over 150 years old. There's no crazing, no chips, a tiny bit of fading here and there on the pink trim, but I mean it's pristine.
Quite hard to believe how old that is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got like a registration stamp thing on the back. And you can go on potteries.co.uk or potteries.com, I can't remember, but the Potteries, it's like a yellow background website, and it tells you so much about all the different potteries, the companies, what they change their names to, how to date certain things. Really, really good website. Crate 11.
Yeah.
Antique French terrine with a lion head, Simplex France, lidded jar pots. That's the one. Cost £1.04 from auction. Had for 7 months, so I was happy to take an offer of £6 and a penny plus post, which takes it to around £10. while I was just saying about that Potteries website, I don't know if I've mentioned it before. But there's a website called replacements.com. You're familiar with it, aren't you? It's an American website, and it's really informative when you're selling vintage, antique, china, glass, flatware, some jewellery. And I go on there, and it's a bit like my oracle. The tab is constantly open on my desktop. You know, I did a bit of reading about the company yesterday, and it started off with a guy in the 80s just going around sort of flea markets and stuff, looking at sort of pottery and plates and that sort of thing, and he started selling them. And then people were contacting him saying, can you keep an eye out for this pattern or this plate? So he would go out and look for those sort of things, and then he would keep a record of everyone's details on like little cards. His mum used to fill them in for him. And now this is one of the biggest companies in America.
Wow.
It's huge, and you can take your dog to work.
Oh yeah.
And he's got something like they've moved premises like 4 or 5 times, but he's worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. But replacements.com, check it out. It's really, really good site, and it was quite interesting reading about him. Crate 22. It's a vintage TG Greens Easy Mix mixing bowl, orange in the middle. There we go. This cost less than £1 from auction, sold within like 4 days for $44.99. Crate 19. A vintage amber glass jug. 33 centimetres tall, so you shouldn't miss it. Yay, there it is. That cost £2. I think that was from the house clearance man. We went to his little pop-up. That sold within a couple of weeks for £18 plus post. Crate 24.
Yeah.
Vintage Tams England soup coupe bowl and saucers, 4 of them. There they are. They cost £2.22. It's a funny price. So were they from auction? Because I also got some of those from the house clearance man. So they sold in less than a month for £17. Crate 4.
Yeah.
A vintage Saddler ginger jar with lid. It's got roses on the front. Yes, that is it. That cost 45p from auction and sold within 2 months for £10. Now I don't pick up Saddler ginger jars like that at all. We've got 3 for sale. I think that's the most recently listed one. I think one of them is one I bought from a charity shop a long time ago. The others have just been from auction, but they do stick around, hence why I was happy for this to go for £10. I think it's going to America, GSP. Crate 11. Vintage Hornsey Roundelay preserve pot and lid. It's brown with yellow stripes. Yeah. That cost 61p from auction, sold within 2.5 months for £16 and 12p. Then we did have some cushions that sold, but due to unforeseen circumstances they had to cancel, so that's disappointing. Oh, these are in the dining room, aren't they? Macassar bowls.
Oh yeah, what size?
The 7-inch, 6 of them. We've got all the art listed. There it is, all skewed and skewed there. Had a massive session of getting that listed. Simon helped me on the last lot just to get it done. So that is a big amount of stock that's listed. It was kind of not like weighing on my mind, but I was just conscious it needed doing, and I spent literally the whole weekend out here doing it.
Yeah. So it turns out, Faye was in here listing art the other day, and I saw you measuring it, didn't I? Mm-hmm. And Faye was measuring from this bit here, instead of the end where the actual measurement starts.
I didn't know.
So you listed like 20 pictures where you said they're like...
And curtains, I've listed curtains and all sorts.
Yeah.
These bowls were part of a big set that came from auction with a load of other stuff, and they're really hard to sell, even though it's an absolutely stunning set.
Yeah.
We've listed it as the complete set, and then we had to break it down into different lots because it wasn't selling as a complete set. Anyway, yeah, they're vintage style by Macassar soup bowl, 6 of them, 7 inches. They cost £1.15, and they've been listed as an individual lot for 3.5 months, and they sold for £14 and 17p. Then we've got crate 11 again. It's the vintage Cavalier King Charles Spaniel ornament.
Like Lottie from Purple Lottie.
Yes, that was my dog growing up, Lottie. She was a Blenheim Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. And my parents have actually got one called Monty. That cost 61p and sold within 2.5 months for £13 and 12p, and that was from auction. Next up, we've got some art. It's the East Coast Barbados by Virgil Broodhagen or Hagen. It's a signed original piece, and that cost £3.50. That sold within a couple of hours for £45, and that was from auction. Then we've got crate 2, antique Delft dinner plate ×3, blue and white.
Crate. Oh, that's not crate. This is in crate 2.
There we go. They are antique Delft dinner plates, 3 of them, and they cost 54p from auction and sold within a couple of weeks for £18 and 24p. And when I say they cost 54p, that's the total, not per plate. Then we've got some more art. It's a vintage Mads Stage. That's the artist, Mads Stage. Signed prints, 3 of them. We've got a duck, we've got some rabbits, and we've got a fox. That's that way. Yes, and they cost £3.50 again and sold for £34.99 within a couple of weeks. No, within a week. And I think they're going to America GSP as well. And then we've got crate 16. Vintage Edinburgh Crystal Art Glass Paperweight. It's just a chunk of clear glass. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like little circles on it.
Yeah. That cost 10p from auction, and that took 2.5 months to sell for £5.50 plus pay.
Woohoo! So if you commented on our last video about how happy you were with the change of the personal seller free listings, let us know how you feel about that now. Pop another comment in.
Really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.